What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. I've been gone for probably like a month now, um, just because basically I haven't been in any leagues since the IGL and the SPS. I think they ended on the same week, um, and I haven't been in any like actual leagues. I've been doing speed tours just to kind of keep myself acclimated and I don't know, just on an enjoyment basis. I didn't want to burn myself out and get into any more leagues. I did apply for like the WPF, but I didn't get into that. And yeah, so I've just been kind of waiting for IGL to start up because I know SPS is doing the SPS Open, which is this big 128 person tournament. That's like a cash prize at the end. So that's got to finish up before SPS Season 4 starts, which it should start like next month or something. So like early next month. But yeah, here we are with the IGL. This one started up a little bit quicker, which I was a fan of for sure. Definitely want to get some more content on YouTube, and I don't know, just I like being in like actual leagues. Speed tours are nice, but from week to week, sticking with the same team, I definitely enjoy. So there's a lot of cars over there. Okay, so let's get right into the draft. Oh, little disclaimer: the logo that you see on the screen for the IGL, that's one that I kind of made. Um, it's not the official one yet because uh, we haven't decided on the official one. It might be the real one. I think Andy, who's the owner of the league, is gonna take a vote between mine and a different one. But since I haven't even seen the other one, I'm just gonna put mine up there just to have it there, as it may or may not be the official logo. Um, well, it definitely isn't now, but it may be in the future. So anyway, getting right into the draft. I've rambled on long enough. I was fourth out of 16, and I remember I went to work and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna plan on getting Urshifu because there was 5 Pokemon in the 18 point tier. It was Darkrai with no Nasty Plot. Nasty Plot's banned on Darkrai. Libero Cinderace. Um, what is it? Dragapult, Urshifu, and Tornadus Therian. They took out Protean Greninja for this league, and they added Zamazenta crowned for 17 points. So I don't know how that's gonna go, but let's hope we don't face that. But yeah, as I said, I went into work today just thinking I'm gonna get Urshifu because the first three are probably gonna be Darkrai, Liberace, and Polt. Um, so I got pinged, and eventually I got it, and I looked. I was about to type in Urshifu, but I looked at what had been taken, and the first three rounds were in this order. The first three picks were Tapu Koko, Mega Venusaur, and Tornadus Therian. So I'm sitting there like, you mean to tell me that I'm fourth overall, and I have the selection between Darkrai, Cinderace, Dragapult, and Urshifu? I'm like, that's kind of crazy. And I didn't really want Darkrai or Cinderace, and I've used Urshifu a lot, and I've used Dragapult in the SPS, but I decided to get Dragapult anyway. It's so fun to use. Like I know I used it last season in the SPS, and it's kind of like, okay, I do enjoy using different Pokemon. Um, that's kind of what I do. But if Dragapult's there, the fourth pick, then I'm gonna pick it. Okay, we basically all know what this thing does. Really fast, 142 speed, along with 120 attack and 100 base special attack. It can go for Dragon Dance. It can go for like Sub Willow Hex. It's a set I used a few times last season in the SPS. I could run a spec set for sure. Ghost Spam is really good. But yeah, I mean, it got great special coverage, like Flamethrower, Scald even, if I want to run that. Thunderbolt. I also get U-Turn, which is nice. Sucker Punch for priority. Steel Wing. So yeah, it's a pretty strong Pokemon. I mean, I think in one of the leagues I saw, it might have been the WPF, but I'm not 100% sure on that. and one of them, Dragapult, was actually banned. And I'm like, well, I mean, I don't blame them, but like in this league where we have Darkrai and Liberace and we had Protean Greninja last season, Dragapult's not gonna be banned. But yeah, I want to try to use this thing even better than I did last season, which I know is pretty hard to do because Dragapult was the MVP of the SPS Moltres division last season. I think he got like 24, 25 kills, something like that. And the next highest was like Crocodile and Dracovish, both with 13 or something. So, Dragapult definitely took the MVP crown last season. So we're going to try to do the same thing this season. So yeah, that's Dragapult. Now, obviously there's a lot of time in between my first and second round because we have a snake draft. So there's like 24 picks before it gets back to me. So I'm kind of sitting there for a while. I'm thinking, what do I want? I wanted to get Mega Medicham for a while because it's just really good with Dragapult. But Mega Medicham did get taken on the wheel at 16, so I'm like, okay, I gotta think about something else. What else do I want? And I've been trying to use this Pokemon for a little while now, and I've never gotten the opportunity. So I actually got Megagardevoir, which is basically a wall breaker, special wall breaker. Again, pretty common. Megagardevoir's been around for a while. It was only 14 points in this league, which is pretty crazy. Especially because I can use, this is a legacy league, so I can use hidden power and like other cut moves. So, we have like hidden power anything, right? But I don't know. Mega Gardevoir doesn't really need it because I get this gen. I get Mystical Fire, which is really nice. I also get Focus Blast, so either one to hit Steel types is going to be really nice. Obviously, Hyper Voice and Psychic, great combo there. I get Will-O-Wisp, I get Wish, I get Thunder Wave, I get Teleport, which is pretty cool if I can force switches. One problem with Teleport is that it's negative priority, so if I'm wrong and I'm taking a lot of damage, that's kind of bad if I use Teleport, but that's okay. I get Taunt, I get even Shadow Sneak if I need to run a little bit of priority. This thing does have base 85 attack, so it's not terrible, but I get Disable and Encore. Obviously, Calm Mind. Memento could be pretty fun. I don't know. Knockoff. I mean, this thing, I don't know. It just gets a lot of crazy coverage. Triple Axle. Even though I wouldn't really ever need to use that because I could just run Hidden Power Ice, but whatever. So yeah, that is that with Megagardevoir. It's just I just got it because I wanted to use it. I've been wanting to use it for a while, and I just think it's a great special wall breaker. I feel like it doesn't get drafted a lot of times, and I'm like just confused why, because the one type that does resist its dual stab just gets usually blown away by Focus Blast, and even Mystical Fire could be good. So yeah. We have a lot of tech options with this mod as well, if we want to do those kinds of things. And yeah, I remember I used regular Gardevoir in the OFC, and that didn't go very well. I think I only used it like 2 or 3 times in that season, just because my problem with regular Gardevoir is that if I'm going to make it offensive, I basically have to make it Scarfed. And it's just so physically frail that I don't want to run it bulky either. So I just ended up not bringing it a lot, but Megagardevoir is a little bit different because it's got a base 100 speed stat, which is good, and it's also just much easier to wall break things, because not only do I get Pixelate Hyper Voice, but I also have a ginormous, okay, that's a word you've probably never heard for a while, special attack stat at 165, and also a much better special defense stat at 135. So yeah, I'm hoping Gardevoir can put in some work for us this season. So next up, the big thing for me so far was expendability. In other words, just like how easily could I replace things if they got sniped? Because being at the 4th position out of 16, you are pretty susceptible to being sniped because you get 2 picks pretty close together, and then the next pick is going to be like really far away. Like 24 picks in between those two. So, um, with that in mind, I decided to draft Nidoqueen next. It was between Nidoqueen and a different Pokemon, which I actually did end up getting anyway. But I got Nidoqueen because I just thought that it wasn't very replaceable for my draft, and I thought that the other Pokemon that I was questioning if I wanted to get it was very replaceable. So I just ended up getting Nidoqueen. It's a little bit interesting uh, getting a 12-point Mon in round 3, but I guess it's not terrible. I mean, judging by Mega Venusaur going second overall, I mean, Nidoqueen round 3 isn't a terrible decision, I guess. Um, well, not that Mega Venusaur is a terrible decision. It's just it was just surprising. Anyway, I have Nidoqueen. I like this better than Nidoking because it's still able to be pretty offensive. Even with a 75 base special attack stat, if you run it max special attack with a Life Orb Sheer Force boosted, dual stab is going to be doing a lot of damage. We also have great coverage moves, you know, Flamethrower, Ice Beam, Thunderbolt. We also get Stealth Rocks and Toxic Spikes, which is great for hazards. So we can run it. I mean, it does have better natural bulk than Nidoking, so that's kind of what makes us. I don't know. I think Nidoqueen is better in that respect. How like it can be offensive and defensive, and for the role I wanted Nidoqueen to be in, I want it to be more of a defensive Pokemon this season, kind of to back up the Dragonball plus Gardevoir offensive core. We also have pretty impressive physical coverage as well, like Aqua Tail, Brick Break, like Dragon Tail could be cool. Obviously Fire Punch, Ice Punch, Thunder Punch. Then we get Rock Slide, Shadow Claw, and Shadow Ball, Sucker Punch, Superpower. So this Pokemon is for some reason those Gen 1 Pokemon have like really good coverage, and so yeah, that's something to keep in mind. But yeah, Nidoqueen. I've used it a few times, like in speed tours here and there, and I actually have it in the SPS Open, but hopefully it'll be able to put in some work for us. So, next Pokemon, obviously when you get Dragapult, you get like a good Dark type that kind of pairs well with Dragapult. Probably the best core with Dragapult is like with Mega Medicham, Vandabuzz, and then Dragapult. That's probably like the most common and most like mainstream that you're gonna find. But I didn't really want to draft Vandabuzz. I didn't want to be too meta, if that makes sense. So I ended up getting Umbreon. I wanted to try Umbreon. I used it in one speed tour and I really liked it. And you know, it is obviously very passive, but at the same time, I do have foul play. So if something tries to set up on me on the physical side, I'm fine. And if someone tries to set up on me on the special side, I can hopefully toxic them, and that won't be a big issue. But as far as just being able to stop offensive threats, Umbreon's really good at that. I have, you know, base 110 defense and 130 special defense. So like if I run this thing physically defensive, I'll still be able to take special hits. So it's just a monster on the bulk side of things, and being just a pure dark type really helps. I'm only weak to 3 types: Fairy, Fighting, and Bug. Fairy being the most common of those, and I do have Nidoqueen right there to take Fairy types on, which is a big reason that Nidoqueen's there, just to take Fairy types on. I do get Moonlight, but I also get Wish, so we might just end up using Wish over Moonlight, because I can pass it to other teammates, so that could be nice. We also get Yawn, which could be cool. We get Baton Pass, which is a really great move on this Pokemon, seeing how if someone like if I switch into something and it does like 30%, it's not gonna stay in because it knows I'm gonna try to Wish. So I can just predict that and then Baton Pass and get a lot of momentum with that move there. So yeah, I mean this Pokemon's probably only gonna use like 6 or 7 moves this whole season, but that's kind of what it's there to do. You know, I always want to Wish Pass for my team. There's also a Cleric with Heal Bell, so that could be definitely clutch. And yeah, that's basically Umbreon for you. I also get Synchronized, which is nice. So if someone tries to Toxic me, at least, you know, if I have Heal Bell, I can, you know, they'll get Toxic back, and then I can Heal Bell it off of me. So that could be cool. But yeah, that's basically all I have to say about Umbreon. We all know it's very bulky, and hopefully I don't get set up on too much this season. So next up was the Pokemon I was debating getting in front instead of Nidoqueen, which is Infernape. I wanted Infernape initially because it's got a great speed stat at 108, and it's got great, like utility options. But I figured I would get Nidoqueen instead of Infernape because I can get Blaziken later on for like 6 points cheaper if I really wanted a fighting type. I know it's much slower and it doesn't get as much utility, but I thought Blaziken was a solid backup because it is actually stronger than Infernape on both the physical and special side. But yeah, obviously Infernape is better, and I wanted to draft Infernape because at this point, I mean, round 5 Infernape is pretty decent. I feel like Infernape is one of those Pokemon that either goes early or never goes, so I just figured I'd pick it up here. So I've got, obviously, like I said, 108 speed stat, which is really good. I've got 104 attack and special attack, which kind of makes me a little bit of a wild card. I can run Swords Dance or Swords Dance or Nasty Plot, which is really cool. I can also run like Mach Punch or Vacuum Wave, so I get priority on both sides, which is also really cool. I get Iron Fist as the ability to boost my fist moves. I don't know if that boosts close combat. I feel like it does, but I'm not 100% sure. We got great coverage like Earthquake, Grass Knot, Gunk Shot is a big one. Poison Jab, Rock Slide. We can also run Stealth Rocks, like a Stealth Rock lead with Taunt as well. We get U-Turn. We can even run like a defensive Will-O-Wisp Slack Offset for that occasional matchup very occasional matchup where you need a defensive Infernape for whatever reason, if your opponent has a Mega Scizor and a Weavile. But even then, I don't even know if I would run a defensive Infernape, but you never know. Maybe I'd run Slack Off, but not like physically defensive. But yeah, that's Infernape. I've seen it used very well against me, so I want to try to return the favor to my opponents, I suppose. Okay, that's enough about Infernape. Next up, in between rounds 5 and 6, I got sniped twice. Up until this point, I hadn't gotten sniped at all, which is really nice. I only make a draft plan after I've drafted my first Pokemon, because I just figure if you don't get your first one, it's kind of all a sham. So, unless you've got like a specific mid-tier to low-tier like core you're looking at, but I don't really do that. I got Dragapult, and then I just made a draft plan from there on. And I really wanted Blastoise, and if I didn't get Blastoise, I would draft Serena, because I just wanted a Rapid Spinner this season. So Blastoise got taken, and the very next pick, Serena got taken, and I'm like, oh my goodness, what am I gonna do? It didn't end up being the end of the world, though. My next pick was Rotomouth. I got Rotomouth. This was always on the plan. I was thinking if Blastoise got sniped, I could take Lantern and Serena instead of Blastoise and Rotomouth. But then Serena got taken, so I'm like, okay, I'm just going to stick with Rotomouth and then find a bulky water later on and hopefully get a Rapid Spinner. But there weren't many left at this point. So there's Rotomouth. I kind of like this Pokemon. It's got, gets Defog, which is really nice. It's got a pretty, sorry about that. It's got a pretty good speed tier. Well, it's got a decent speed tier at 86. I just wanted something in between Megagardevoir and Nidoqueen, and this fits that pretty well. So we can run like Volt Switch, right? We can run Will-O-Wisp, Thunder Wave. We can definitely trick things. Like Choice Scarf Trick could be really nice. Defog obviously is the thing. Pain Split for a little bit of recovery. So I see this Pokemon as more of a defensive than offensive, just because of its typing. Well, Grass Electric isn't that good, but it does get Levitate, which is really nice for my team to support, so that I don't get just Earthquake spammed. And then Leaf Storm is obviously a thing. I could run it offensive. I could even run Nasty Plot if I wanted, but I just feel like this Pokemon is going to be more used as a utility kind of thing to pivot in against. And then defog if I need to. And yeah, so that is the Rotomouth. I guess there's really not much else to say. As far as its stats, it's got 107 defense and special defense, 105 special attack, which is pretty good, and then just bad HP and attack. So that's okay. So yeah, next up is going to be, I actually forget. Oh, I found it. Okay. Oh yeah. Also, earlier in the draft, Reggie got taken. I think like round 4. That was something that I wanted, so I had to figure out what other steel type I was gonna get. I at some point I was like, okay, there's really no steel types left. Was thinking about Steelix, but I already had Nidoqueen for a ground type. I didn't want to make myself too water weak. So really the only viable one for a while for me was Copperajah, and I had it in SPS. I didn't use it that much, so I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna draft Bronzong because I know I have a Psychic type, and I know a rule for me is not to repeat typings. But I mean, as far as Psychic, as far as 2 Psychic types, Megagardevoir and Bronzong only share Ghost weakness, and we have an Umbreon there. We're gonna pick up a normal type later on, but Umbreon's a super reliable switch into resistance to like Ghost and Dark resistance, or Ghost and Dark Pokemon in general. So I felt like it wasn't terrible to have another Psychic type on the team, especially when their only common weakness is Ghost. And I really like Bronzong. I've used it a lot in the past, and I think it's great. I think it's very bulky, especially with Wish Passing. It could be a real threat. I love Iron Defense Body Press. It's a great set. I can get Stealth Rock, or I do get Stealth Rocks. I get Gyro Ball, and Gyro Balls are going to be doing a pretty good amount of damage since I'm so slow with this, base 33 speed. I could always Explosion if I wanted to. I could set up screens. I could Toxic. Trick Room is a thing. But my team isn't really Trick Room friendly, which is fine. But yeah, I mean, Steel Psychic also with Levitate basically means I'm only taking super effective damage from Ghost, Dark, and Fire. I could always throw, catch my opponents off guard by running Heat Proof, because every time you see Bronzong, it's kind of like a golden route. The golden rule is to like not run or not use a ground type move against it, because you don't know if it's Levitate or Heat Proof unless you do calcs and you can guarantee that it's Heat Proof, or if you just have the balls to click Earthquake on it against it when you don't know if it's Heat Proof or Levitate. You can do that and find out that it's Heat Proof, but I don't know. I feel like in some cases I could run Heat Proof and get away with it if I really need to. So yeah, that's the Bronzong for you. Base 116 defense and special defense, as well as only 67 HP stat, which is pretty mediocre for something that needs to be taking hits. But with its typing and its ability to hit back with Gyro Ball or Iron Defense Body Press, it becomes a pretty reliable Pokemon. Only 9 points for it as well. So next up, I was talking to someone. I forget who it was. It might have been Bounty Hunter, or maybe the 14th Doctor. I'm not too sure. But I was trying to figure out what Rapid Spinner was still available, and there was Cryogonal, but Cryogonal was 7 points, which I thought was way too much for Cryogonal. And I don't know. There's like, what is it? Like the Mr. Mime, Galar, and Mr. Rhyme. I don't really want either of those because they're both. I'm not gonna get 3 Psychic types. 2 is enough. So I ended up just going with Avalon. I've used this in the past. I do like Avalon. I think it can really surprise some teams with its base 184 defense. I mean, that's crazy. Then again, it's basically like a Rhyperior, like a Gen 6 Rhyperior. It's got great HP, attack, and defense, and then special attack, special defense, and speed are just not it. Well, its HP is 95, but that's still pretty good. And then attack stat at 117, and then the rest are just poop. So that's something we'll have to keep in mind. I do get Sturdy though, so like Sturdy, if something hits me with a special attack, I'll live it and I can Mirror Coat them back. That's something I used to do a lot. It's really fun to do to people, even though I'm basically losing my Avalon, but that's fine. I get Recover, which is nice for a Pokemon. Like Ice is it's a pure Ice type. Ice is a pretty weak defensive typing. but because my physical attack or physical defense is so high, I could take, you know, a non-stab close combat from things and be able to recover off the damage. Yeah, I'll be able to do that against some Pokemon, and because of that, I felt like it was worth getting Avalon, and I felt like just having the Rapid Spin there is really nice. I could also run it like Assault Vest, like Rapid Spin, Body Press, Avalanche, and Gyro Ball could be a set. I get Earthquake, which is nice. I get Aurora Veil if somehow I'm against an Alolan Ninetales and I want to run an Aurora Veil Avalugg, I could do that. I get Superpower. So, you know, this Pokemon's just mainly here for the Rapid Spin, but also I could definitely be like a physical wall to some Pokemon and just kind of stop them. Because imagine like a base 184 defense. If I max that out, like 252 Impish Nature, and I just hit things with Body Presses, those are going to be doing a lot of damage. So yeah, that's Avalugg for you. Yeah, you know, I did get it pretty early. I don't know why I'm stuttering so much. Oh my goodness. I got an 8th round, which is, I don't know, in my opinion, is pretty early for an Avalugg, but I feel like it was the most, like I said, it's just the least expendable, it's the least replaceable Pokemon on my team at this point, from what I wanted my last 4 picks to be. I feel like Avalugg was definitely the one I needed the most. So next up, I ended up drafting Crobat, another repeat typing, another poison type, but Crobat is actually immune to ground instead of weak to it, which is great. I really wanted a flying type so that if a Mold Breaker or Earthquake user comes around, like an Excadrill, I wouldn't just get, you know, dicked by Earthquake, as well as like Haxorus, like Mold Breaker, Dragon Dance, or Scale Shot Haxorus could be an issue if it just starts going for Earthquakes. So Crobat is here to be completely immune to the Earthquake, and I just wanted a fast flying type with Defog. I wanted another Defogger, and you know, 130 is great. It's only 10 points. I was gonna get Aerodactyl for a while, but I like Crobat a little bit more defensively. It can go for Taunt and Super Fang. I think it's a better, more reliable Defogger. It can also run a Nasty Plot set, which is, in my opinion, you know, a sleeper, because it can go for Nasty Plot. It's got Heat Wave for Steel types. It's got Giga Drain if I need that. It's got Dark Pulse, obviously Dual Stab, Air Slash, Sludge Bomb. So I could definitely run it up with a Nasty Plot Crobat for sure. I've got U-Turn. I've got Brave Bird. Obviously, I could run a Choice Banded Brave Bird set if a particular team is Bird Spam weak. And again, the 130 speed is really nice to have in between Dragapult and Infernape. So yeah, there you go. There's Crobat. Not much else to talk about. Not much else to talk about. There you go. It's also a nice stall breaker. Taunt, Roost, Super Fang could be a really nice thing if I need something for Toxapex, for example. I just bring this thing in and just stop it. So it's pretty cool. Or, you know, something else that's really passive and annoying. So that's Crobat. Next up, I ended up getting Almamola. That's right, I got Almamola, which is a bulky water, very, very bulky. And I know it, you know, having Umbreon and Almamola is a little bit redundant because they're both Wish Passers. They're both very similar. They're passive Pokemon that just take hits until they get set up on. But I think in a way it's nice to have Umbreon and Almamola. God, I can't freaking say its name. Because if I run like Wish Protect on Almamola and I bring Umbreon, it kind of frees up Umbreon to run like Heal Bell, Foul Play, Baton Pass, and Toxic, for example, because I'm not confined to the Wish Protect set. Similarly, if Umbreon runs Wish Protect, I could run like an Assault Vest Almamola with like Knockoff, Liquidation, you know, Mirror Coat, and Aqua Jet or something, you know, or Ice Beam, I don't know. Just so that if I need it to be a special wall, I can do that. It gets Regenerator too, which is really nice. And so yeah, it kind of frees them up. Because having Wish basically means you have to run Protect if you want to guarantee that you'll be able to have that reliable recovery. and just having two moves automatically gone, especially if you're as passive as Umbreon or Almamola, is a big problem. So, having two of them kind of frees them up a little bit. And I like this Pokemon in general. Again, it is passive, but I do get liquidation with a base 75 attack stat, so that's not really too bad, right? I do get knockoff. I thought this thing got haze, but it actually doesn't, which is makes it a little bit worse, obviously, because I can in fact get set up on pretty easily. But I can toxic things. I can hail if I need to. I'm not doing. I can even psych up. Heck, someone tries to set up Dragon Dances, I'll just psych up, get that attack stat, and then proceed to sweep. That's not gonna happen, but might as well. I can dream. I can dream for sure. So yeah, last but not least, our last pick was Taurus. I got Taurus because I've been wanting to use Taurus for a while. It's only 6 points. Basically, I had the last two picks. I had 17 points left. I was looking in the 10-point tier for water type because I'm thinking I could get a 10-point water type and then a 7-point normal type, which is like either Ambipom or Cinccino, which are both pretty cool, intriguing Pokemon. I think they both have base 115. I know Ambipom does, but Cinccino is also 115, so that's a little bit faster than Tauros. But there just wasn't anything in the 10-point tier that I wanted as far as water types. So I just ended up getting Almamola, and then I could get Tauros. So Intimidate is great, but I'll probably just be using Sheer Force. Tauros for the most part. 110 speed, 100 attack stat. It's got great coverage, great close combat this gen. Earthquake, Iron Head, Rock Slide. Obviously, I can run Rock Climb or Body Slam to get the Sheer Force boost. And I can run it Life Orb, and it's going to be doing a lot of damage. Then Headbutt as well for fighting types. Mega Horn. I also get a lot of special coverage. Like I said, those Gen 1 Pokemon, for some reason, get a lot of coverage. Like Flamethrower, Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, as well as Thunder, Blizzard, and Fire Blast. So, very interesting stuff. But yeah, that's Taurus, and that is the team. I didn't want to make this too long, but it ended up being over 30 minutes, so it is what it is. I hope you enjoyed. I hope I didn't bore you out too much. But this is the draft. I'm pretty pleased with it. I only got sniped 3 times, and really only 2 because I wasn't convinced I was gonna get Serena after Blastoise got taken. It was just kind of an idea. So I'll call that 2.5. 2.5 snipes. But it is what it. I think the draft still turned out pretty well because after I saw Blastoise got taken, and then Serena, I'm like, this is. I don't know how I'm gonna finish this out, but like what direction I'm gonna take. But like I said, I think it went all right, and I definitely like this draft. I think it's pretty creative, and I think it would still rank high on like a power rankings thing. Just because initially having Dragonball and Megagardevoir is really good, and then backing up with Umbreon, Bronzong, Almamola defensively is really nice. And then having enough removal like Defog, Crobat, and Rotomouth, and then the Rapid Spin Avalon is nice, and then having strong hazards with Stealth Rocks on Nidoqueen, Infernape and Bronzong, and then Toxic Spikes on Nidoqueen. So that is the team. I'm gonna end this video before someone watching this starts falling asleep. Thank you guys so much for watching. Week 1, I'll try to get this uploaded by Thursday. Week 1 should be up on Sunday or Monday, depending on how busy my weekend is. So yeah, that is the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, truly, and I'll catch you guys in week 1.